Picture a bright Saturday in 1925. A main street that smells like hot oil, tobacco, and fresh bread. Men in caps, women in cloche hats, store windows stacked with radios, suits, and vacuum cleaners. Modern miracles that promise to save time. And then you see it. A car in a showroom window, polished so clean, you can almost see the future in it. Buying a car in 1925 wasn't just a purchase, it was a gamble, a status jump, a monthly obligation. For many families, it was the first time they ever signed their name to debt. The question wasn't whether you wanted a car. The question was whether your life could carry it. In 1925, cars are present everywhere, but not equally. In wealthier neighborhoods, newer models sit outside brick homes. In working districts, a few older cars appear, often repaired, sometimes shared. In rural areas, horses remain common, partly because roads are unforgiving and service is not always nearby. A car is never just the price on the tag. It is the cost of fuel, oil, tires, repairs, licensing, and the risk that comes with all of it. A dealership in 1925 feels quiet and deliberate, like a place where decisions are meant to be made slowly. The floor is clean, the cars arranged like sculptures. A polished body panel reflects the room. The promise is obvious. No waiting on streetcar schedules, no walking in the rain, no borrowed rides. A car offers independence you can touch and proof that you are moving up. But for most buyers, the first step is not romance, it is arithmetic. The price of a car in 1925 varies widely. There are simple, low-end models designed to reach ordinary families. There are mid-range cars aimed at a growing middle class with better comfort and finish. And there are high-end cars that remain status machines for professionals and business owners. Even the affordable options are not casual purchases. For many working households, a new car represents months of pay, sometimes more than a year of careful saving if you try to pay in full. That reality is why financing spread so quickly. By the mid-1920s, installment buying becomes normal for large purchases, and automobiles move right into that pattern. The logic is simple. Selling only to buyers who can pay cash limits the market. Selling on payments expands it. A down payment up front, a fixed schedule of monthly payments, and a finance charge folded into the total, this becomes the doorway into ownership for people who could never pay cash. Installment buying shifts attention away from total cost and toward the monthly number. It makes the purchase feel manageable, at least on paper, but the difference between being able to pay the monthly amount and truly being able to afford the car is where many families get trapped. In 1925, a car is not a sealed machine that quietly runs for years with minimal attention. It is a mechanical system that demands constant care. Oil changes come more frequently than modern drivers are used to. Tires and tubes are vulnerable to nails, broken glass, and rough roads. Repairs are expected, not rare. Licensing and registration are becoming more standardized, and storage matters because street parking is not always safe. Ownership carries risks that do not appear in the showroom. A major repair can consume savings. An accident can do the same. A week of lost wages can force hard choices. That is why the real cost of a car is never only the purchase price. The true cost is a steady stream of obligations layered on top of ordinary living. So who could afford a car in 1925? Business owners and professionals are the most likely to own one, with higher and steadier incomes and strong reasons to travel. Skilled industrial workers and foremen can sometimes manage ownership, especially if their employment is stable and their household budget has margin. Some farmers choose vehicles in good years, though rural roads and repair access complicate the decision. Many families make ownership possible by pooling money, sharing a vehicle among relatives or neighbors. There is also a second group, people who buy a car even when they cannot truly afford it, because the monthly payment looks manageable until life interrupts. That is not a simple story of foolishness. It is a system designed to expand sales by making the purchase feel within reach, even when budgets are fragile. The deal itself often begins with a question that steers the buyer away from total cost. What monthly payment feels comfortable? Trade-ins can complicate the math, with values that depend heavily on condition and a market that can shift quickly. The down payment becomes the hardest hurdle. If you cannot put enough down, the terms tighten and the total cost rises. The car itself is the collateral, and the consequences of missed payments are real. Some buyers secure loans through a bank, while others rely on dealership financing or specialized finance companies tied to the auto industry. In 1925, approval is not only about numbers, it is also about reputation. Questions can feel personal: work history, family responsibilities, whether you rent or own, and what debts you already carry. Being turned down can be humiliating. Being approved comes with a clear warning: miss payments and you can lose the car. Beyond the money, there is social pressure. A car is a public signal that you are steady, modern, and doing well. That visibility can push families to stretch beyond comfort, because the car becomes tied to pride. And if a family loses the car, people notice that too. Once the car is purchased, the romance quickly meets reality. Breakdowns are part of the era. Starting the engine can be uncertain. Repairs can be unpredictable and expensive. A single mechanical problem can mean lost hours, missed shifts, and a repair bill that arrives on top of the next payment. This is where ownership becomes more than a dream. It becomes a discipline. And still, people keep buying cars because the automobile changes a person's economic geography. It changes where you can work, where you can shop, how you visit family, how you respond to emergencies, and what opportunities are within reach. Even if it hurts financially, it can help practically. By 1925, an ecosystem grows around the machine. Garages, tire shops, filling stations, parts suppliers, road crews, used car lots, and the services that make the new mobility possible. The car does not only move people, it reshapes towns and stretches cities outward. It begins pulling daily life away from rail and streetcar schedules and toward roads. Affording a car in 1925, in the strict sense, means having the stability to survive surprises. If you can buy in cash, you are usually older, established, or in a higher income bracket. If you finance, you need steady work, a decent reputation, and enough margin in your budget to withstand repairs, illness, or reduced hours. The line between possible and dangerous is simple. If a single missed week of pay can collapse your finances, a car payment is not freedom. It is a leash. The patterns feel familiar today. Sales still emphasize the monthly number. Buyers still underestimate the extras. Life still punishes budgets with surprise repairs. Transportation still decides opportunity. What has changed most is reliability. In 1925, owning a car often means learning it. You listen to it, smell it, feel it. Many owners develop basic repair skills because they have no choice. Owning is not passive. It is maintenance. At the end of the day, the true product being sold in 1925 is not metal or rubber or speed. It is the belief that your world can be bigger if you are willing to pay for it month by month. What people gain is mobility. What many quietly lose is financial slack. And for countless families, that trade feels worth it because the future is no longer a distant idea. It is parked outside the house.